Pope Pius IX, First Vatican Council, Session 4, Chapter 2, Canon. If anyone then says that it is not from the institution of Christ the Lord himself, or by the divine right, that the blessed Peter has perpetual successors in the primacy over the universal church, or that the Roman pontiff is not the successor of blessed Peter in the same primacy, let him be anathema. This is canon that many false traditionalists use, many in the Vatican II sect use, to try to say, see, the sedevacantist position is not possible because, Pius IX says that there must be perpetual successors in the primacy. And these are all false arguments. It's extremely ironic that those who hold that the seat of Peter is currently vacant always get accused of taking things out of context and using things and twisting things and everything like that. I personally have been of the sedevacantist position, I think around 6 months or so, and I can tell you from experience it's quite the opposite. It is the false traditionalists who take things out of context. It is the Vatican II sect faithful who take things out of context, and that is a fact, and this is a great example. Because this canon, is referring to the quote Orthodox. The quote Orthodox are basically Protestants with valid sacraments. That's it, and they dress better. That's it. That's all they do. That is what the Orthodox are. Ironically, the Vatican II Church heaps praise upon the Orthodox, even though the quote Orthodox openly reject the Papacy. The Vatican II sect loves schismatics. It loves schism. It showers praise upon schism, and also donates things to them. They give them relics. So that is ironic. But this canon is referring to the Orthodox, because the Orthodox believe that St. Peter was given the keys, that St. Peter was given the primacy, but they believe that St. Peter does not have perpetual successors in the primacy. You see, they believe that St. Peter, the primacy, died with St. Peter. Let me say that again. Quote, Orthodox believe that St. Peter was given the primacy, but the primacy died with St. Peter. And so this canon is referring to the quote Orthodox. It is anathematizing the quote Orthodox. It is certainly not dealing with gaps between popes, because first of all, that would actually be against common sense and history. Common sense tells us, that when a pope dies, there's a couple of days usually between elections, and so the church really does. It is not that it doesn't have a pope, right? It just means that the seat is vacant. That's all it means. Now, every true pope in history is the pope. Because St. Peter does have perpetual successors in the primacy. So ironically, if you try to apply this canon to the sedevacantist position, you're actually saying that when a pope dies, you're actually saying that St. Peter doesn't have perpetual successors in the primacy. Because if you apply it to us, apply it to having gaps of time, you're actually applying it to, you're actually saying that there can't be a gap between. And so a true pope dies and there's a gap between, you're actually going against this canon itself. You're anathema. This also does not count out the possibility of anti-popes reigning from Rome. This has already happened. People need to get historically educated, because there has already been an anti-pope in Rome, Anticletus II, who reigned in Rome from 1130 to 1138. There's also been different gaps of time in history. There's been a 3.5-year gap. There's been a nearly 3-year gap. There's been several gaps of years, between popes, that there was no real pope on the planet, if you use this in that way. But, you've actually heretically taken it out of context and misapplied it. The false traditionalists, the SSPX,
아주 us from the Vatican on what was, of course, an extraordinary day. Within hours of Pope Benedict announcing that he was to resign, take a look at this. Lightning struck St. Peter's Basilica. You can see it again now in slow motion. Extraordinary. It happened just before 6 o'clock in the evening, local